Lifestream Services is your Aging and Disability Resource Center, providing a variety of programs to help you maintain independence. Lifestream, for the young at heart.
Cronin Toyota and Cronin Nissan are honored to partner with Proudly We Served, as well as the continued support of our local active and retired military veterans across eastern Indiana.
As your Aging and Disability Resource Center, Lifestream provides a variety of programs to help you or a loved one maintain independence, including in-home care management, transportation, nutrition and wellness services, caregiver support, volunteer opportunities, and more. Visit our website at lifestreaminc.org for more information about meal sites, upcoming wellness classes, resources for caregivers, and events in your area. Lifestream, for the young at heart.
I'm Bledsoe, Veterans of Foreign War, Post 1108.
I'm Ron Chappell, Vietnam Veterans Association 777, co-host here with Al at Proudly We Serve, and our guest this morning is Joe DeVito.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
And we're glad to have you again, Joe.
Yeah.
To share the information you've got. Before we start, I want to put out the Veterans Food Pantry is the 20th of December. 12:20 at 9 o'clock, and get there early because they really line up fast. 12:20, 9 o'clock at Seebach.
Yeah.
So again, 12:20, 9 o'clock, Seebach, and that's going to be our December food pantry. And thank you very much.
Okay.
And Joe, let's.
Glad to have you back,
Yeah.
man.
It's great to be here.
Gee, it
been a
seems
while.
like
Yeah.
seems like you was just here.
Yeah.
Time flies, doesn't it? And, you know, Al, I appreciate that you guys have welcomed me into the food pantry family.
Yeah.
I try to get down to everyone that I can. You guys have been helping us hand out some
Yeah.
materials there, but get there early is the right advice. Get there early because you were half mile down the street
Yeah,
when I got
it's,
there at 9 o'clock the other day.
We've had as many as 58. I get there at 8:30. It starts at 9 o'clock, but I've had as many as 58 there when I get there. All the way down to 12th Street there, where that cross section right there.
Yeah.
And it's crazy for about the first hour, but then it dies, and then it goes on to something else. But it's been a good ride, and lots of good people out there working. You know, I mean, them guys are out there. I've always said it's a bunch of 10 or 12 guys that's got the same mindset that they're going to get this done, and and we get it done somehow. Sometimes,
It's great. It's a
we get
great
it
program.
done. So it'll be
So-
a challenge to get it done this month.
So Joe, again, now first your title.
I'm the Outreach and Communications Director for Indiana Department of Veterans Affairs.
Okay, all right. So we got the man almost at the top
Yeah.
with us today.
Right on.
All right. So what is, we talked about a number of things in the last program, but you had a heartbeat for this family.
Yeah.
Relief fund.
Yeah, we have a program with the state. So, state of Indiana is the Indiana Department of Veterans Affairs, separate from the federal VA. Every state has a Department of Veterans Affairs or veterans programming of some sort. And amongst many of the things we do, we have benefits and services that we offer for Indiana veterans, separate from federal VA. We have a lot of different programs. One of the programs I wanted to talk a little bit more in detail today is called the Military Family Relief Fund. So the Military Family Relief Fund started many years ago, and it's gone through a lot of iterations. It originally had started for the families of deployed National Guard folks, and has morphed wonderfully over the years to where it's open to any veteran in the state of Indiana who meets certain income guidelines, and it's an opportunity to help veterans with an emergency financial need. So if they're having a current hardship, the fund can help them out. It pays up to $2,500 lifetime for a veteran. The $2,500 can be exceeded, either initially with one ask if it's so needed, or on multiple occasions, we have a process to the Veterans Commission where they'll review an over $2,500 claim and make a decision on it. The opportunity there is for any essential household need that they have. It could be a broken furnace, it could be a car repair, transportation issues, food, anything to do with mortgage, rent, anything that they have that's impeding them to pay their household bills. This is an opportunity to help. We try to make sure that we're going a step further. Our team at the Military Family Relief Fund is amazing. Lynn Dickey leads the staff over there, and they do a great job. And we know if a veteran comes to us and to this program with qualifications of, one is the family household income needs to be below 2 times the poverty limit. So an example of that would be if we have a veteran who is, say we have a veteran who has 2 children or 2 people in the household with him, so it's 3 people in the household. The poverty guideline for that would be $23,030 a year. If you double that, it becomes $46,060. So the household income would have to be below $46,000 for 3 people in the house.
Now, is that based on an earned wage from a job, or
Yes.
to say you're getting benefits that exceed that amount?
It's all the income that the household has coming in. Yeah.
Okay.
And so that would be the one initial qualifier. Plus, they also can't have a bunch of money in the bank. They need to have an actual current need. And then we get some information from them, some bank account information and different things. And then if it's awarded, we can make a direct deposit or pay actually utility bills and other things for them for the hardship. But usually if someone gets to the point where they're requesting our fund, it's a little deeper than that, right? So this is a great bandage, but something's causing the issue. So we try to work really hard with each applicant, whether they're awarded or not. By us just getting the application, we now can start working them into our system of referrals and partners. So we partner with federal VA and outside of VA, military and non-military partners across the state with financial counseling, mental health services, medical services, transportation. Great partnership with Department of Workforce Development. We refer clients for not only unemployed, but maybe underemployed. So once we get that application, we want to bring that family or that veteran in and help them address some of the other issues that may have caused them to get to this point, help them get a better job, find employment, transportation, anything we can do to help them get on their way, maybe spend better. Maybe we can see on the application that there's income, but it's maybe not being spent. We can help them with financial counseling, really get them into a system. So with the fund, it's gone through many iterations, like I said, over the years. Some of the things I'm real proud of 2 fiscal years ago, we were running into a high percentage of denials. We were denying, I think, over 70% of the claims coming in. So we wanted to evaluate why. One of the few of the biggest reasons we wanted to address. Some of those were, legislations, and up to that point, the veterans or applicants' current hardship had to be tied to their military service, which doesn't make much sense to me.
No,
and it was
no
very
sense.
right. If someone had a home fire, that can't connect to their service, so that was a big one. Another one was at that point the applicant veteran needed to have 12 months of active duty service or more, which was really not good for Reserve and National Guard, who don't have 12 consecutive months of active duty
Or medically
service.
discharged.
Yeah. And discharge was one of them too. It was honorable discharge only for the application. And the other one was wartime service. And we have a gap, about a 15-year gap of non-wartime between the end of the Vietnam era and the beginning of the Gulf War era. So these were some of the ones we wanted to address. I'm happy to say come July of 2021, the legislation changed, no longer needed 12 months of active duty service, no longer needed wartime service. Hardship did not have to be tied to military service, and we even addressed the discharges a little bit.
Yeah.
Because what we noticed was, there's of the 5 discharges, there's the lowest one you can get is a dishonorable discharge. Above that is a bad conduct discharge. Those 2 are still not eligible, but we have the other than honorables, and so certain ones of those will now be eligible. Of course, we're still going to eliminate any violent crimes, any sexual assaults, and those types of things. But if a veteran applying does have an other than honorable, that gets sent to the commission, and they review that for the merits of it. A lot of folks out there may have gotten a discharge other than honorable, but it might have been from PTSD symptoms, other issues that they had, maybe drinking or drugs in service, which may carry over to now, and we want to help them. So that's a great identifier to help getting them some of that extra help.
How long does it take to get it approved?
So there's 2 answers to that.
Okay.
When we have a complete application with everything that we need, all the proper paperwork's filled out and uploaded, less than 7 days.
Oh my.
Wow.
So we can really,
amazing.
10 is our goal, and we're under that.
Yeah.
When the trick is, we're a government agency. There's a little bit of paperwork needed. So when a lot of the applications will come in, we'll have to recommunicate back to the applicant, hey, we still need this or that. So depending on how timely and fast we can get all the information we need. But once it's complete.
7 days would be.
Okay. That's a miracle.
Yeah.
Talking about the government.
Yeah.
And it's a testament to our team and how hard they work and do the best they can.
Yeah.
And
Behind the scenes, though, that I think IDVA does a good job of working the system and getting as much out of the system. Because I met those guys over there. I know how they are. So I think it's just good that they're doing that and getting rid of some of the other stuff because I know guys that need to apply for that, but they just wouldn't because they just didn't think, well, it won't get approved anyway. And I say, how do you know that? How do you know you won't get approved until you try?
Well, no bad mouthing on the old regime and that, but a lot of guys don't try to get approved for anything because they figure it's the same old hat, nothing's going to happen. These guys, all those guys want is a job. They just want a job. Yeah. But see, we get folks like you who are just passionate for your job and for servicing our soldiers, our military personnel. That changes things, and we need to get you out there more. We need more Joes out there.
we're working as hard as we can. And
Well, I think that the thing of it is, though, and it goes back to what I said, just in the first show, though, some of that we got to look in the mirror and think that, maybe we aren't being as proactive because if he's only one person, so he can only do so much.
Yeah.
So we got to push, everybody push at the same time. Yeah. We'll get something done,
But we know Joe, they don't.
Yeah, I know, but that's what you got to do, though. You just got to, everybody that, if they got a problem with the VA, for crying out loud, if they come out the dealership, and I talked to a veteran out there, I don't care if he's from Preble County or where he's from, and he's got a problem, I said, okay, what's the problem? Let's sit down and I'll make a phone call while you're here and you can talk to him.
Right.
Well, no, I don't want to do that. Well, see, that's not, if you really got a problem and you really want to get it taken care of, I say you get it taken care of. So.
Well, and we do really encourage and want folks to speak up and let us know. I think one of the best things about working where I work, Director Weimer, Dennis Weimer's our director, and with him and the rest of us on the executive team, all the way down, we want to be nimble and we want to be able to change and adapt and grow and meet the needs of who we serve. That's our entire mission, is to support, serve, and advocate for the Indiana veteran community. That's everybody who contacts a veteran. It doesn't have to just be veterans, family members, anybody who, if you encounter veterans at the dealership, that whole dealership is part of our veteran community. So we want to make sure we're serving them. And the only way to do that is to be nimble and adaptable. And the way to be adaptable is we need to know. If someone has an issue, we want to know, because that's a great opportunity for us to change. And I see that same attitude with the federal VA. Healthcare, benefits, same thing. They are actively, you guys probably know when you go you can't get out of a VA health appointment without a survey.
Yes.
Those surveys are important because that's how they're changing policy. So we encourage anybody, for us and federal VA down the right, tell people if you have a good experience or a bad experience, or it's just something you think can be different.
Yeah.
Controls reminded me the end of December.
Yeah, so, yeah, thank you. So one of the great things along the lines of that attitude of how do we grow, how do we get better, our team at Military Family Relief Fund noticed spikes in applications trending with our data over the years. And one of the big spikes was right after the beginning of a new year. We had a spike in applications. So doing a little bit of research in there, what we discovered was folks who were tight on the budget in the months of November and mostly through December were foregoing certain household bills and other financial obligations in order to provide a great holiday for their family. And they were missing out on some of those expenses, which then come January, February would spike applications to the program to help cover those expenses that were foregone.
That would make sense.
Yeah.
So they came up with a brilliant idea of a sub-program of the Military Family Relief Fund called Operation Holiday Program. We did a pilot last year, kind of a low-key to test the waters and see how it went, and it went really good. We're back in it right now, and it runs until December 30th. So this is a veteran or a family, a member of a veteran under 2 times the poverty limit that we spoke about. If they apply, they can get up to $200 per applicant for a holiday meal and up to $300 per dependent child in the household for essential expenses for that period of time to help with those holiday expenses. And it's a great program. We've already doubled the applications from last year to this year because we're advertising it a lot more. And in that same vein, building on that, another spike that our team had recognized was in the fall, September, October. So in researching that, what we found out was, once again, certain bills and other expenses were being foregone for back-to-school expenses. Believe it or not, the average in Indiana, the average public school student back-to-school expenses is $800 per student.
Yeah.
Which is absolutely crazy.
Insane.
So we have another limited run program called Operation Back to School, which is available. Keep an eye on the website. It's certain dates right before the beginning of school. I think June through August is when that'll run in that time frame. Once again, it's up to dependent child in the household, $500 per child for back to school expenses once they meet those income guidelines. So and we did that this past, was our first run this past summer, and gave out a lot of money, helped out a lot of families. And not only does that help those folks in that interim, but now we're finding a lot of folks who see these programs and learn about the standard Military Family Relief Fund. Then we connect them to our county veteran service officers. We've talked before, every county has County Veteran Service Officer, CVSO. That is your local expert on state benefits, federal benefits, and your local services for veterans and their family members. So I encourage everybody to go to our website, in.gov/DVA. You can't miss it. When you go to our website, whether it's mobile or on the computer, you're going to see 2 things all the time above the scroll. You can't miss. Find your County Veteran Service Officer and the Military Family Relief Fund. If you click that CVSO, you'll get all the information for your local expert for all your benefit needs.
Well,
We've been really blessed with veteran service officers. Ron Whittick is new as a result of the death of Pete McDaniel, he was awesome himself. So we've had.
Buddy's starting to come a long way too.
Yeah. He's
learning. Ron's been with it now a couple of years, but I think Pete McDaniel's legacy, and we'll always talk about Pete McDaniel, was he wouldn't take no for an answer. If he wanted something, he talked loud enough that he would get what he wanted, and that kind of set the stage. And then with Joe coming in, which was the best thing that ever happened, because it actually expands this, and you got somebody you can lean on, if you will. If you got a problem with a veteran, because I talk to people all the time at the dealership, that's one of the first things I ask them, if they're a veteran or if they serve. Most of them has got a black hat on, or most of them have got something to identify themselves as a veteran. And so it's being a little more proactive to just, and I make it a point to ask them, how are they doing with health care? Because I got brochures for the Dayton VA and stuff at our little table out at the dealership.
That's a nice setup you guys got.
Yeah,
out there.
that we got, and so we hand that stuff out to people if they're veterans, especially these programs that you're talking about, the school program, the holiday program I didn't know about, but I'll certainly start putting that out there too.
same here.
Those are just really good programs.
It is, and you know, community leadership and partnership,
Yeah.
like you display. We got the veteran community here is great in Wayne County, but you know we need and want partners to help us find veterans and encourage them to get to their county service officer and find those benefits. It's surprising, as hard as we do work, there's still a large portion of folks who served in the military and are not connected to those
What
benefits.
is causing that? What have you ever run a study of what is the root cause of a veteran not to want to participate, especially like in the health care program? They can get health insurance, or if you want to call it that, it's free basically. I mean, your medicine, some of it you got to pay for, but why I can't to my life, and I haven't been, I guess, a member that long, but I can't understand why guys just don't sign up today.
I think I kind of touched on that in the previous program. Bad experiences, and you know how rumors spread. And
but why do we always understand the downside, but we don't look at the upside?
Right.
I don't understand that.
And you know that is definitely one of the factors for sure. Far bigger brains than mine have been diving into this, and it's what we want to know. Right now, statistically, Indiana and nationally is the same. And of the men and women who served in the military, who are now out of the military, that's a veteran, of those folks, of the portion of them who are eligible for benefits from the federal VA, whether that's disability benefits, health care, the gamut of benefits, half of that eligible population is accessing benefits. So there's the other half we're looking for, right? And there's a few reasons why. One is a reputation, a generational reputation. So you think about it, well, someone getting out of maybe went in the service recently, got out in their mid-20s, close to 30 years old. Well, that could be considered a younger generation veteran. But they were also serving with folks who were in for a long time. So there is an unfortunate, old, and completely non-existent, valued now reputation of the VA, right? Which is completely undeserving at this point. I've been doing this work for almost 15 years, from the county veteran service officer to a district service officer now in this position, and I've worked alongside the federal VA for all of those years, and I've not once met a federal VA employment who I think wakes up in the morning and decides, I'm going to really do a veteran wrong today.
Yeah.
It is just not the case. Most of them are veterans or family members of veterans. It's just a big institution, and there's a lot of paperwork, and there's a lot of, and they're working hard to fix a lot of those things, but the VA works very hard. So reputation is undeserved reputation, part of it. Part of it is just not knowing. If you noticed earlier, I said we need to help identify people who served in the military. Well, we're working on, we work with a group called Ask the Question, and we're also doing that with our Governor's Challenge, which we're going to come back in another show soon and talk about that, that we're involved with as a state. But if the interesting thing is you don't ask people if they're a veteran. That's the key words now are not to use that terminology. Instead, you ask, have you ever served in the military? Have you ever worn a uniform? Interestingly, there are people out there who, National Guard or reservists, who don't consider themselves a veteran. A lot of our female veteran population would say no to that question. We also have those folks out there who served 4 years, 8 years, did whatever term they did, but they didn't see combat. They didn't go overseas, so they just assume none of those things are for them. We do see a lot of media for benefits and other things, and it's pretty centered around combat veterans. So a lot of veterans who didn't see combat don't consider themselves eligible for certain things. So there's a few things going around out there, and some of it is when you process out of the military, a lot of the times you're just trying to get out as fast as you can. you might throw your name on something or here and there, but you get out, and then as soon as transition is the hardest part for military service members, with mental health issues, suicide issues. The transition is huge. You go from knowing exactly where to go, when to be there, knowing exactly what you have to do when you get there. You don't worry about where your food is coming from. You don't worry where your bed is coming from. You don't worry about any of that when you're in the military. Right. You transition out, now none of that. It's a free fall for a lot of veterans. So the scramble to take care of their family, get a job, get to work, start doing the things that they need to do once they're out, kind of gets lost, this whole connecting to VA.
Yeah, so. You're right. Yeah.
And you see,
we got about 2 minutes, guys.
I know when I got out, if someone would have just reached out and said, hey, this is available, but it wasn't available. And then I don't know, I go to Dayton and I see all of these people that the VA's helping. They're in wheelchairs, they're in crutches, they're having all of these problems. And I'm thinking, how in the world do you take care of all that? Because that center aisle out there, or whatever you want to call it, where you come into Dayton VA, is all the time loaded with people. And now when you go over there, there's just a bunch of people running around wanting to know if they can help you, which is kind of neat. I mean, you never know. But it's just, to me, it's amazing to just take a step back and look at all of that. And that's why, if we can get that message out to veterans that, did you know this, or did you know you can do this? Do you know you can do that? And right now, it's almost, if you will, the sky's the limit. That the VA, IDVA especially, I think, has reached out. In Indiana, I think since you've been around, I've seen it be more progressive, more out there than it was before. Don't you think? I mean, and we've had guys from, and I'm not critical of what the prior people were, but I'm just saying that he's more proactive, which creates more enthusiasm in the whole.
We got to wind down, guys. Joe, again, I'm so glad that you were able to come. If someone needs to get in contact, would they contact you or their local VSO or what?
We encourage all veterans to talk to their county veteran service officer. in.gov/DVA. Find your CVSO. That is your local expert and your direct contact to state and federal benefits. They will contact us. And that's just part of that chain and partnership. So that is the best spot to go.
Okay. All right. Well, we've got to go, guys.
All right.
Hey, this has been great, man.
It has.
Yeah, we could go on for another hour.
Good session today.
Hey, thanks, folks. Thanks for watching. All right.
All right. Merry Christmas.
Bye-bye.
As your Aging and Disability Resource Center, LifeStream provides a variety of programs to help you or a loved one maintain independence, including in-home care management, transportation, nutrition and wellness services, caregiver support, volunteer opportunities, and more. Visit our website at lifestreaminc.org for more information about meal sites, upcoming wellness classes, resources for caregivers, and events in your area. LifeStream, for the young at heart.
Cronin Toyota and Cronin Nissan are honored to partner with Proudly We Served, as well as the continued support of our local active and retired military veterans across eastern Indiana.